Welcome to Walasaha. My name is Dominique Norales. It's a curious home for the good troublemakers, the world changers, the dream chasers, and for 2023, we're embarking on a special series with the Caribbean Youth Environment Network called INBETWEENITY, the Green Pod, made possible through the generous partnership with the Clara Lionel Foundation. In this episode, we'll be talking about energy. Where does it come from? How much we use? And what is the region doing to achieve this electric goal of the green transition ambition? Sun, sea, and sand. That has historically been one of the mainstays of the Caribbean economy. It is the bread and butter of the tourism industry. But can we and have we switched lenses to see how this sun, sea, and sand can be leveraged in the green transition? The CARLEC, who is the Caribbean Electric Utility Services Commission or Corporation, notes that the electric utility companies which rely on fossil fuels as an energy source often have to deal with the volatility of fuel prices in the global market. Now, the Caribbean uses a whole lot of energy. In fact, in the most recent report by the World Bank that usually clusters Latin America and the Caribbean, is that we consume 2,161,000 kilowatt hours per capita, with only 27% of that energy being from renewable sources. The cost of fuel is often passed through to customers via the fuel clause adjustment or surcharge on the electric bill. This means that even if your consumption behavior is relatively unchanged, customers may experience notable differences in their final bill value from one billing period to another. Fortunately, there are ways to mitigate the risk. The risk of high fuel prices can be mitigated with renewable energy. There will be a new risk of low or intermittent resource availability, but this can be managed by informed placement of renewable energy systems or by using energy storage, which has already been implemented in islands such as Barbados, Jamaica, and Bermuda. SDG 7, which deals with green energy, seeks to put forward the importance of the globe looking at how it uses its energy in the package of affordable and green energy. On the micro view, entities such as CICRI, CARLEC, and CARICOM Energy try to create a frame for such a transition to happen in a just way. We are keeping climate justice at the center of our work. In a micro sense, green funding entities such as the Global Environment Fund Small Grants Program fund small-scale solar panel engineering in indigenous communities. So here's a story coming out of Belize.
We get information with plenty Belize. They reach to my village and they talk about solar because in my village there was no electricity, so they asked the villagers if they're interested in having a solar light. But then two ladies have to go to be trained in India, and that is how me and my sister, we volunteered ourselves, and then we went to India. We stayed there for 6 months. It's difficult because I did not know anything about solar. When we reached there, I'm nervous. When I see the other ladies are doing the training, I thought I wasn't going to be able to learn, but when we started to do it, I did learn.
And with this new skill, Chuck is happy to bring this basic necessity to villages currently living in the dark.
When I am back, I am very happy and I am proud of myself because I know something about solar now. And when we reach back to my village, we get a grant through GEF and we electrified all the solar homes in my village. And up to now we are still working. We are going to do the same thing in the other two villages. And I am very happy to help the other villages who don't have electricity.
Now, there are also questions on whether countries have the infrastructural capacity on their grids to have this renewable energy megawattage be safely stored. Take a listen of this snippet from Sagicor's early business episode in Barbados.
After all the talk and encouragement for us to put photovoltaic cells on our homes to hook into the national grid, it appears that Barbados now has a major problem. Some customers have received this message. Dear customer, we've reviewed the referenced application for grid interconnection and wish to advise that due to its size and location on the associated feeder, which has already reached its licensed capacity according to the grid code of 5 megawatts, the application is approved, subject to your implementation of one of the following mitigation measures to facilitate the system's reliable interconnection to the grid. The communication went on to say it should be clearly outlined by your developer or installer what form of mitigation is being considered for implementation prior to final interconnection approval. BLPC is currently in the process of procuring 45 megawatts of battery storage to further assist with grid stability. However, this is a long-term measure that is expected to be in place by December 2023, and until this is fully implemented, the above restrictions will continue to apply. Regards, Barbados Light and Power Company Limited. The communication to the renewable energy installers said that the penetration of intermittent renewable energy systems on the grid has reached a stage where the Barbados Light and Power Company now finds it critical to implement additional mitigation measures to maintain grid stability. This decision, it says, is driven by the results of prior studies performed to assess the impact of additional renewable energy on the grid and has been confirmed by the impacts that are currently being observed on the grid as a whole and in localized areas.
So we see here that the pace at which the Caribbean region is moving toward renewables is quite disjointed. In some places, we have indigenous people leveraging technology to light up their villages, and in other places, we see a challenge not with the capturing of energy, but its storage in the midst of global, social, economic, and political upheaval. In part 2 of our energy transition episode, we talked to some of the expert movers and shakers, keeping in mind consumers like you, whose personal experience is the true measure of success of the renewable energy mission. Until next time, we encourage you to read and listen to the cases we spoke about here today that are available in our description box. Thanks for joining us here at Wallasaha for INBETWEENITY, the Green Pod, made possible through the kind generosity of the Clara Lionel Foundation.